The true test of our commitment is whether, in the face of an obstacle, do we throw up our hands?
Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I do have a disclaimer though. If you do live in the state of California and you are a Republican, you might not like this video. So there are rumors spiraling around that Kamala Harris might run for governor of California. We will get into that. However, there's also some rumors out there that Kamala Harris might try to run for the presidency once again. And CNN seems to really love this idea. I'm going to let the panel speak for itself. I think it's hilarious to see them even comment on this and act like she didn't get totally destroyed. Again, I will let CNN speak for itself once again.
Karen Finney, clearly Democrats are very demoralized, and even the posture from her in that speech kind of underscored the reality. Questions about her political future, who the standard bearer may be. What do you think it does look like for Kamala Harris going forward? I mean, our Isaac Dovere reporting that her aides and team divided between whether she should run for president or run for governor of California.
Sorry, I have to stop right here because I totally missed this point when I was gathering clips for this video. Kamala Harris literally needs to fire her entire team and build from the ground up. Whoever was hiring Beyonce and Cardi B, that is the reason why Kamala Harris lost. So whoever her team is trying to tell her what to do, I mean, as a conservative and Republican, yes, that's great. If it is the same team, keep doing what you're doing. But for real, Kamala Harris, I'm even shocked she has anyone who's within the same team.
Yeah, I think some of that is also consultants who would like her to run for California because they want to get the payout quicker. So I'm not so sure that that's the right move. I think those are some of her California advisors. And also some of those same people are advising Gavin Newsom. So we'll just put the politics out there. Just saying. Personally, I think she should run for president again if she believes she has the energy to do it.
Do you think she could win the nomination?
I do. But I think you have to recognize, I remember, going into the second Clinton, when he was running for re-election, our chief of staff said, it's going to be like, we're going to string you up from your fingernails upside down, from your toenails upside down. That's what it is to run for president. And it's true. I mean, it's gotten only harder. But I also think you can't answer that question right now because, I would take the time, decide, do you have it in you to do it again? I do think she'd win the primary. Here's the main thing. She didn't get to run the race she would want to run. She had 107 days to do the best she could with 107 days with a team that was not quite hers, with a strategy that was developed for someone very different. There were very real on-the-ground consequences. And frankly, a Democratic Party that had not been talking to voters for 3 years.
Okay, so if you were even able to get through that clip, I already know what everyone is thinking who watches these videos. That is a whole lot of cope, that is a whole lot of complaining, that is a whole lot of pointing fingers. However, I do give credit to that lady for pointing out the fact that consultants are most likely trying to get her to run for California governor to get money. If you are unaware, consulting teams, media teams, lawyers, there is massive money when it comes to elections, whether localized or on this level of a governor, Congress, president especially. People are making a ton of money. That's where all these donations are going to. So of course consultants are like, yes, come run for governor now. They want to make money fast and not have to wait 4 years for the next presidential run. Now, if we're going to be real with ourselves, and most people are pointing out that Kamala Harris will most likely run for the governor of California just to get some clout. However, you have to understand this is going to cause a lot of friction within the Democratic Party. And I know I'm talking as if I care. I really don't. In fact, I actually want her to run for California governor because I can't stand Gavin Newsom. So that would be hilarious. But I also want her to run for the presidency because I know she's not going to win. Anyway, I'm going to play you a clip as to why most likely she's going to run for the governor of California, and it makes complete sense.
Tell us what the likelihood is of Harris running for governor.
What she's been saying to people over the last couple of weeks, donors, other supporters that she's been talking with, is you haven't seen the last of me. I'm not going quietly into the night. advisors, people close to her, are debating about what that means. They do not want her final official act ever to be essentially certifying Donald Trump's win over her, especially 4 years after January 6th. And so they look at this governor's race in California in 2026, and it seems to them like a layup, essentially, that she would probably clear the field, or mostly clear the field, and she would get to be governor of California. It's a pretty good job, right? It was good enough for Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jerry Brown.
Look, I want to stop here real quick. What I want to point out is that Kamala Harris is loved within the Democratic Party, especially far left-leaning movements. Kamala Harris brought all of that onto the main stage. Not that I respect Kamala Harris in that sense, but I respect that she had the cojones to actually be as far left-leaning as possible on the main stage and still somewhat put up a fight against Donald Trump. Again, we're talking pretty far left ideas. Now, that would win her the race in California. That's what people want in California for the most part. I'm not trying to generalize people in California. I know there's a lot of red counties, but let's be honest with ourselves. The fact that Gavin Newsom keeps winning and that he gets to do whatever he wants to do, people like this ideology. And also, the Democrats have created a dilemma for themselves, considering Gavin Newsom is a white male versus Kamala Harris. Our current vice president will be the former vice president and a woman. Of course, she's going to win the election in California. And honestly, again, I hope she does run in California because I can't stand Gavin.
But if she does that, that means that she couldn't turn around and run for president again in 2028, right? She'd need to essentially declare right away. And that is what it really comes down to, because there are people close to her who say she didn't get a fair shot this year. It wasn't up to what she could have done, and look how well she performed anyway. She should get to go again in 2028. And then there are ones who say, look, with where things are with the Democratic Party, she would not have a clear field, a cleared field, rather, in the Democratic primary, and could lose the nomination. And to come off of 2024 into that would be really terrible.
Our spirit is not defeated. We are not defeated. Let's be clear about that. We are strong. We are clear about why we are in this. And because you're here right now, I say, again, thank you, because not only are you clear about all of that, you're willing to put in the hard work. And that work must continue. We cannot let any circumstance or situation or individual ever take away our power to know why we do what we do and our ability to then get that work done. And especially because we know what we stand for, and that's why we know what to fight for. We here believe in the promise of America.
Okay, so that was a very recent speech from Kamala Harris. Again, I don't need to point out that in 50 seconds, we haven't learned anything. And I'm not even trying to isolate clips to make Kamala look bad. This is what her speech team does to her. That was 50 seconds of no message conveyed other than, look at us, we're not defeated, our spirits are high, look at us, look at us, look at us. And you have to understand, no one is taking accountability for Kamala's loss. Everyone is just like, yeah, we got them next time, but nobody knows what the next time is. However, I do want to play this last clip where Scott Jennings of CNN points out this is why Democrats keep losing and will probably keep losing in the near future. Nobody takes accountability. Nobody trusts Democrats, and everybody kept giving Kamala Harris these softball questions, and she keeps doing what's called a word salad, just talking about nothing. Enjoy this next clip from CNN.
Right.
If your messengers are incorrect, then it doesn't really matter what the first two bullets are. It's that authenticity. And then what's the first clip we played tonight? Kamala Harris, who popped out, and she saw her shadow, so we'll get 4 more years of word salads. If this is the road Democrats want to continue to go down, people who are going to use cliches, pablum, and sort of just word salad answers to really important questions that everyday people have, they will continue to lose. However, if they take his advice and get authentic candidates who may sometimes say things that are a little contradictory or maybe it's a little raw, people will forgive your warts and your contradictions if they think you're being real. I think he's onto something.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. I mean,
Joe Biden himself is like at command thinking about this. Like right now, I just honestly don't.
These guys, by the way, coming to this conclusion here in December as Joe Biden is going out the door, when the rest of America came to this conclusion months and months and months and months and months ago, is the funniest thing I've heard
Can
today.
I also just say,
honestly.
he is not governing that way right now with the last few weeks that he has left. That's very telling.
The people around him should be thinking about these things. You need to democracy-proof, for lack of a better word, this coming administration. I mean, Donald Trump stands for everything that Joe Biden does not stand for. And if Democrats are true to their values, they will do everything they can with the power that they have right now, which is limited, to prevent Donald Trump from doing the things that he's already announced that he's going to do.
Are you arguing for administrative sabotage? I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not at all what I'm arguing
You're
for.
saying you should somehow proof the government
No,
against the will of the people?
I'm sorry. You want to talk about the will of the people? You want to go back 4 years? Because we could talk about the will of the people. We could talk about what I'm saying, Scott. No, thank you for putting those words in my mouth. That's not at all what I'm saying.
You said proof.
What I'm saying is that we